It's me again, Auntie Kenny from Bookworld Library. Today we'll be reading a very nice book. It's called Violet the Pilot. Violet the Pilot is written by Steve Breen. We actually got this book from the Dolly Parton's Imagination Library, as you can see from here. And I've read it over and over to kids at home and at work. So I'm excited to be sharing this book with you today. Let's find out about our dear Violet, our dog, and her innovations. Thank you. Let's read.
Violet the Pilot, written by Steve Breen. Everyone in town knew that Violet Van Winkle was a little different. For starters, she and her parents lived in an odd looking house next to the junkyard her father managed. And while other girls were playing with dolls, Auntie said, Violet played with monkey wrenches and needle nose pliers. Violet was a mechanical genius. By the time she was two, she could fix almost any broken appliance in the house. By four, she could take apart the grandfather's clock and completely reassemble it. Since she didn't have any friend aside from her dog, Oville, she would spend hours tinkering with things from the yard. Violet's parents were very proud of her, although they weren't too happy the time she put a lawnmower engine on her cousin's tricycle. The older she got, the more interesting Violet's creations became. Around the time she turned 8, she was building elaborate machines from scratch, and not just any machines, flying machines. Our parents couldn't believe their eyes when they saw Violet zoom by for the first time. They were a little worried in the beginning, but they quickly saw that she was a pretty good pilot. Careful not to hit the house, Violet's father would yell. And put on your sweater, her mother would add. Violet used anything she could find in the junkyard to make her wonderful contractions. There was the top bubbler and the bicycopter, the rocket can, the pogo plane, the slide glider, and the wing-a-majig, to name a few. Violet's engineering was pretty sound. The only real hazard were tall trees, piles of junk in the yard, and bugs in her teeth. Kids at school would see Violet eating lunch alone and make fun of her strange books and greasy coveralls. Claude and Clyde Mulroney were especially obnoxious. Then one day, Violet noticed a poster in the drugstore window. Hair Show, October 20th. It read, That's only 2 weeks away. Violet thought, Can kids fly in the show? Is unmade aircraft allowed? That night, Violet sat in her room thinking about the show. She knew it would be a good feeling if one of her plane won a prize. And maybe then the kids at school would be nice to her. Violet pictured exactly where she would hang a blue ribbon. She and Horville spent the next few days combing the junkyard for just the right materials. When they had collected a giant pile of stuff, the building began. One day the Moroni twins happened to pass by. Look, it's that girl from school, one of them said. What are you doing, weirdo? I'm building an airplane, she told them. The twins exploded in laughter. then mumbled something mean as they walked away. Orville barked at the boys, but Violet just went back to her project. Take it easy, buddy, she said. We are too busy to worry about them. Finally, after days of hard work, Violet had finished making a flying machine. She named the magnificent new craft the Hornet. Wait till people in the grandstand see me flying this, Violet said to Orville. The test flight was a success. On the day of the big air show, Violet took off, bursting with excitement. Her parents' faces had beamed with pride when they wished her luck, and she thought about that as she flew through the clear autumn sky. She calculated that the trip would take about 20 minutes. She would arrive just in time for the start of the show. Suddenly, something caught Violet's eye. In the river below, a group of people were waving frantically. Violet lowered her altitude to get a better look. A troop of Boy Scouts had run into trouble while canoeing. Violet knew she had to help fast. It wasn't easy rescuing all the boys, but Violet piloted a Hornet with careful precision. Saving the Scoutmaster from going over the falls was particularly dangerous. Violet dropped the grateful Scout off at the hospital. Then she checked her watch. 3:30. Oh, she said to Orville sadly. We have missed the air show. She turned her plane towards home and sighed. It was a miserable feeling. That evening, Violet had no appetite for dinner. She just went upstairs and sat on her bed. All of a sudden, she heard a lot of noise outside the house. She and Orville went to the window and discovered that a crowd of people had gathered. Somebody spotted her. There is Violet, the boy shouted jubilantly. There is our hero. The Van Winkles stepped outside, squinting from all the flash bulbs that were popping. The press, the mayor, the fire and police chiefs, even kids and teachers from schools had all learned of the rescue that day and had come to praise her. Young lady, please accept this medal of valor as a token of our gratitude and esteem, said the mayor. And he gave Orville a new collar with a license that read K9 Hero. From that day on, Violet's parents let her fly whenever she wanted. But her mom still made her wear a sweater. The end.
Wow, that was a lot of building. So just like Violet in this story that we just read, I want you to use your own creativity too and see what you could come up with in the house. You know, when mom has something to dispose, ask mommy, Mommy, can we make something out of this? That's just what I wanted to go do. And remember, nothing is actually very useless until you say it is useless. Remember, drop us a like. Ask daddy and mommy to subscribe to our channel so you don't get to miss any of our beautiful stories. We love you and come back again tomorrow for another great story time at Book World Library. Bye.